Prabhupada ki jai, Mantra Śrimad Bhagāvatam ki jai, Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from the Śrimad Bhagāvatam, first canto, chapter 11, text number 37. Hare Krishna.
閱讀聖典《Bhagāvatam》第一篇第11章，詩節37。
Tam ayam manyate loko.
Tam ayam mayate logo.
Yasangam api sanginam.
Yasangam abhisangitnam.
Atmaupamyena manujam.
Atmaupamyena manujam.
Vyaprinvanam yato buddha.
Yaprinvanam yato buddha.
Tan ayam manyate loko.
Tam ayam mayate logo.
Yasangam api sanginam.
Yasangam abhisanginam.
Atmaupamyena manujam.
Atmaupamyena manujam.
Vyaprinvanam yato buddha.
Vyaprinvanam yato buddha.
Anybody wants to try?
Tam ayam mayate loko.
Tam ayam manyate loko.
Yasangam abhisanginam.
Yasangam api sanginam.
Atmaupamyena manujam.
Atmaupamyena manujam.
Vyaprinvanam yato buddha.
Vyaprinvanam yato buddha. Tam ayam manyate loko.
Yasangam abhisanginam. Atmaupamyena manujam. Vyaprinvanam yato buddha. Tam
Unto Lord Krishna,
Unto Krishna,
ayam, all those common men.
所有這些普通人
Manyate, do speculate within the mind.
在心中猜測
Loka, the conditioned soul.
受制約的靈魂
He, certainly.
肯定地
Asangam,
阿信金
unattached.
不執着
Api,
阿偏
in spite of.
盡本
Sanginam,
上見啦
affected.
受影響
Atma,
阿媽
self.
自己
Anupamyena,
阿扮嘢啦
by comparison with the self.
通過與自己對比
Manujam,
馬女將
or ordinary men.
普通人
Vyaprinvanam,
Vyaprinvanam
being engaged in.
從事於
Yata,
一打
because.
因為
Abuddha,
阿布打
foolish,
因為無知而愚蠢。
because of ignorance. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Translation. The common materialistic conditioned souls speculate that the Lord is one of them. Out of their ignorance, They think that the Lord is affected by matter, although he is unattached.
譯文同要旨由 His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada 提供。譯文：持物質主義觀點的受制約的普通靈魂，臆測至尊主是他們中的一員，儘管至尊主是獨立自主的，但他們卻因為無知而認為至尊主受物質的影響。
Purport? Should I read the whole purport and then you read, or how do we do it?
As you like.
Okay. The word abuddha is significant here. Due to ignorance only, the foolish, mundane wranglers misunderstand the Supreme Lord and spread their foolish imaginations amongst innocent persons by propaganda. The Supreme... Go ahead.
要指這節詩中的梵文因無知而愚蠢 Abuddha 一詞非常重要，就是因為愚蠢無知，愚蠢的世俗爭辯者才會誤會至尊主，並向無辜的人們宣傳他們愚蠢的想像。
The Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, is the original primeval personality of Godhead. And when he was personally present before the eyes of everyone, he displayed his full-fledged divine potency in every field of activities.
至尊主聖 Krishna 是存在中的第一位人格守神。當他本人出現在眾人的眼前時，他在所有的活動領域中都充滿了展示了他的神聖力量。
As we have already explained in the first verse of Śrimad Bhagāvatam, he is completely independent to act however he likes, but all his actions are full of bliss, knowledge, and eternity.
正如我們已經在聖典寶光亞談開篇第一詩節中解釋過的，他獨立自主，按他的意識、按他的意願做他想做的任何事情，但他的一切活動都充滿了極樂、知識和永恆。
Only the foolish mundaners misunderstand him, unaware of his eternal form of knowledge and bliss, which is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads.
只有愚蠢的世俗之人才會誤解他，不知道博伽梵歌和眾多奧義書中已經證實的他那充滿知識和極樂的永恆形象。
His different potencies work in a perfect plan of natural sequence, and doing everything by the agency of his different potencies, he remains eternally the supreme independent.
他不同的能量根據他制定的一系列完美計劃，代表他做一切，而他自己則永恆地保持至高無上的獨立狀態。
When he descends on the material world by his causeless mercy to different living beings, he does so by his own potency.
當他出於對眾生沒有緣故的仁慈降臨物質世界時，他憑他本人的力量降臨。
He is not subject to any condition of the material modes of nature, and he descends as he is originally.
他不受物質自然屬性的任何控制，他以他原本的形象降臨。
The mental speculators misunderstand him as the Supreme Person, and they consider his impersonal feature as inexplicable Brahman to be all.
世俗思辨者錯誤地認為他這位至尊人就是毫無人格特徵，令人難以理解的 Brahman 梵。
Such a conception is also the product of conditioned life because they cannot go beyond their own personal capacity.
這種觀點其實也是受制約生命的產物，因為他們無法超越自己的理解力。
Therefore, one who considers the Lord on the level of one's limited potency is only a common man.
所以靠自己有限的努力來想至尊主的人，不過就是個普通人而已。
Such a man cannot be convinced that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always unaffected by the modes of material nature.
這種人無法相信人格守神永遠不受物質自然屬性的影響。
He cannot understand that the soul is always unaffected by infectious matter.
他無法理解太陽永遠不受傳染性物質的傳染這一事實。
The mental speculators compare everything from the standpoint of experimental knowledge of their own selves.
心智思辨者根據他們自己的經驗性知識判斷一切。
Thus, when the Lord is found to act like an ordinary person in matrimonial bondage, they consider him to be like one of them, without considering that the Lord can at once marry 16,000 wives or more.
正因為如此，他們一旦看到至尊主像個受婚姻束縛的普通人一樣行事，便認為他是他們中的一份子，而不考慮至尊主可以立刻娶16000位妻子或者更多。
Due to a poor fund of knowledge, they accept one side of the picture while disbelieving the other.
由於知識貧乏，他們只片面地接受事實的一方面，而卻懷疑同一事實的另一方面。
This means that due to ignorance only, they always think of Lord Krishna as like themselves and make their own conclusions, which are absurd and unauthentic from the version of the Śrimad Bhagāvatam.
這說明他們是因為愚昧才總認為主 Krishna 跟他們一樣，從而得出他們自己的結論。但從聖典寶瓜亞談的觀點看，他們的結論極其荒謬，不符合事實。
Omagyanatimirandhasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this chapter, entitled Lord Krishna's Entrance into Dwaraka.
呢一章咧就係個主題就係話主 Krishna 進入 Dwaraka。
Krishna took the blessings and the permission of the Pandavas to leave Hastinapur and is now entering Dwaraka.
咁 Krishna 咧就係得到潘道華兄弟嘅佢哋嘅批准啦，咁佢就係而家咧進入Hastinapur。
It's a very beautiful description where it exposes how he interacts with the residents of Dwaraka.
對唔住，佢咧係離開到Hastinapur 進入 Dwaraka， 咁去到 Dwaraka 嘅時候，咁就係得到當地嘅居民嘅歡迎。
And how Krishna is interacting with the queens of Dwaraka. Such
亦都講到咧 ，Krishna 咧係點樣同 Dwaraka 裏邊嘅皇后咧係點樣相處。
with each and everyone personally, and how the queens of Dwaraka had captured the heart of Krishna.
咁就係講述咧 ，Krishna 咧係同每一位皇后咧係分別咧係有交流啦，同埋佢哋係講述每一位皇后咧係點樣去對待 Krishna 嘅。
So here in this particular verse, we study how Sukadeva Goswami is explaining the common materialistic conditioned souls. They speculate that the Lord is one of them.
咁呢度咧係 Sukadeva Goswami 咧係講述到咧普通人咧就係視自尊主咧為佢哋其中嘅一份子。
And how this is a result of ignorance.
咁呢個咧就係咧愚昧嘅結果啦。
So we want to understand a little bit about the ignorance or darkness.
咁咧又係而家咧去解釋下咩為之愚昧啦，又或者係黑暗。
So darkness is a product of space where there is devoid of light.
咁黑暗咧就係講述咧就係一個地方咧係冇陽光。
What that means is we, the living entities, always belong in the spiritual world.
咁但係我哋生物體咧，其實咧就係屬於靈性世界嘅。
And in the spiritual world, everything is self-illuminated.
咁喺靈性世界裏邊咧，每樣嘅物品咧都係自己發光嘅。
And when that self-illumination disappears, it is when we come into this material world.
When come to the material world,
Yeah, that self-illumination is gone when we come into the material world.
當咧生物體咧嚟到物質世界咧，咁呢個自我發光嘅特徵咧就冇咗嘅。
And when there is no light, we are subjected to be absent from the reality of life.
咁如果係冇咗即係如果喺黑暗裏邊咧，或者冇咗光咧，咁我哋咧就係喺呢個真實嘅世界裏邊咧，係即係即係呢個真實嘅世界咧變咗黑暗嚟㗎啦。
And when we are not able to see properly, then we have a tendency to speculate.
咁如果我哋係冇能力去清楚咁去睇每一件事咧，咁我哋就只會咧係會心智推敲啦。
So this is why here we see that the conditioned souls, they speculate that the Lord is one of them.
呢處講到咧就係呢個調限嘅靈魂咧，視自尊主咧為佢哋嘅其中一份。
Because they can't see properly.
因為佢哋唔能夠正確咁樣去睇自尊主。
Like for me, I use reading glasses.
咁啊，對於我嚟講要戴眼鏡啦。
If I don't wear my reading glasses, I will not be able to read properly.
咁如果我唔戴眼鏡咧，我就睇得唔清楚嘅。
So when we come into this material world, nothing is clear.
咁因此咧，嚟到物質世界咧，意味著係每一件事咧都係唔清楚、唔清澈嘅。
Because we are seeing with our subjective lens.
因為我哋咧係受制於我哋嘅，即係我哋所睇嘅一切咧，都係受制於我哋嘅有限嘅視域。
And there is no objectivity.
因此咧係冇一個正確嘅對象啊。
And this is what is considered to be ignorance.
因此咧呢啲就視為無知。
And then Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that these foolish mundane wranglers, they spread their foolish imaginations.
Yes. Can you repeat?
That when we are conditioned in this material world, then we spread our foolish imaginations in the material world.
咁啊，正如聖巴布巴咁講啦，如果我哋係喺一個愚昧嘅狀態之中咧，我哋就會散發出呢啲愚昧嘅訊息出嚟嘅。
So when our senses are not functioning properly,
咁如果我哋嘅感官唔係好正常咁樣去運作嘅時候咧，
then we use our mind to create imaginations of what it could and should be.
咁就我哋會用我哋嘅心意咧，係去想像一啲嘢啦。
And we impose our imaginations as the absolute truth and we spread this in the world.
咁我哋用我哋嘅想像出嚟咧，就係作為一個真理咁樣咧，係向全世界咧係宣揚嘅。
So this is what Prabhupada is saying, that foolish imaginations are spread amongst innocent people for propaganda.
咁因此咧，就係聖巴布巴講到啦，一啲嘅愚蠢嘅真理咧，就係好似喺呢個世界裏邊咧，係不停咁樣去宣傳出嚟嘅。
So the nature of this world that we live in is people who are seeing darkness and spreading their mental imagination on that darkness and presenting it as the truth.
咁因此咧，物質世界裏邊啊嘅人咧，用佢哋嘅想像咧，就係作為一啲真理咁樣咧，喺呢個世界嗰度宣揚。
Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that to understand the depths of Krishna with our material senses, it is impossible.
因此你經典裏邊講到啦，用我哋嘅物質嘅感官咧，係去了解 Krishna 咧係冇可能嘅。
So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to South India, he went to a place called Srirangam.
咁啊，主彩坦爺咧就去過南印度一個地方 Srirangam。
And there he met Venkata Bhatta.
咁佢咧就見到 what is the name?
Venkata Bhatta,
Venkata Bhatta。
the father of Gopal Bhatta Goswami.
咁就係高寶巴德個 Swami 嘅父親。
And there they had very beautiful discussions.
咁嗰度咧，佢哋之間有一個好美妙嘅討論。
And one of the deepest discussions is how the residents of Dwarka, the queens of Krishna, and Lakshmi personally, although she is so devotedly serving Krishna, she has the desire to understand what the experiences are being experienced by the gopis of Vrindavan.
咁就喺裏邊咧有一個嘅討論咧，就係話喺 Dwarka 裏邊嘅皇后啦，尤其是 Lakshmi 啦，佢就係點解係會去學習啊，或者係想咧成為咧喺Braja 裏邊嗰啲嘅居民咧係點樣去服務 Krishna 嘅。
So to understand the depths of Krishna with our material senses is impossible.
咁因此咧，要去明白 Krishna 嘅深度，咁樣去明白 Krishna 咧，用我哋嘅物質感官咧係唔能夠做到嘅。
And there in Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that the ocean has many, many layers and of depths.
咁就係講述到咧海洋咧係有個深度咧係有唔同嘅層次嘅。
And the most deepest experience of bhakti is understanding the relationship that Krishna has with the residents of Vrindavan.
咁就係 Krishna 嘅對 Krishna 嘅愛咧，就係要去同呢個喺Vrindavan 裏邊嘅居民咧係作對比嘅。
So there's mundane people with mundane senses. They see Krishna with the queens of Vrindavan, just like Krishna is one of us.
因此咧就係普通人咧去視喺 Vrindavan 裏邊嘅居民咧，或者係呢個 Dwaraka 裏邊嘅皇后咧嘅，同埋咧佢哋點樣去服務 Krishna 咧？咁佢亦都係呢啲普通嘅人咧去視 Krishna 咧係普通人一個啫。
So Srila Prabhupada is explaining that Krishna is completely independent Swarat.
咁就聖巴布巴咧講述咧 Krishna 咧佢係完全咧係獨立一個人物嚟
He
嘅。
is not affected by any of his creation whatsoever.
佢對於佢Krishna 所創造嘅一切咧，Krishna 咧係唔受呢個創造咧係影響嘅。
And everything is happening perfectly by his potencies.
咁每樣嘅事情發生咧，都係跟住佢完美嘅能量。
And another point that Prabhupada makes that that in the material world, they're called the mental speculators. That means they speculate from the mind.
聖巴布巴講述到咧係一啲嘅人咧，佢哋係從佢根據佢哋嘅心意咧係去推敲嘅。
And the basis of that is their mental experiments. So their truth is standing on their mental experiments only.
咁因此咧，佢哋所作出嘅任何嘅結論咧，就係或者係佢哋認為呢啲係絕對真理嘅時候咧，啲所有咧係基於佢哋嘅心智推敲。
And Krishna is not to be understood by the mind.
咁但係 Krishna 咧係唔會咧係由心意咧係所明白到佢嘅。
Krishna is considered to be achintya and agamya.
Krishna 咧被稱為 Achintya Agamani。
Yeah. Which means cannot be understood with the mind or be comprehended with our intelligence. Is beyond the mind and intelligence.
咁就係話咧 ，Krishna 咧係唔會由呢個心意啦，又或者佢嘅智慧咧係去了解到佢嘅。
So therefore, Krishna can only be understood by the mercy of a spiritual master who opens the eyes of the heart.
因此咧係唯一嘅方法係能夠明白到 Krishna 咧，就係得到靈性導師嘅仁慈咧，咁我哋咧先至能夠明白到 Krishna。
Every day we chant the prayers, Om Jnana Timirandasya, Jnana Anjana Shalakaya, Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. A spiritual master opens our eyes with the torch of knowledge.
因此咧，我哋咧每日都練一個嘅詩節咧，就係話講個內容就係話靈性導師咧，用知識嘅火炬咧，係燃亮我哋嘅眼睛。
And removes darkness.
咁因此咧就唔會再有黑暗啦。
So knowledge is like light, Jnana Dipena Bhaswata, as we study in the Gita.
咁因此知識咧就係代表住光。
So when knowledge enters into our heart, then it enables the eyes of the heart to open, that we can actually get a little glimpse of what this relationship with Krishna would
就
look
去到我
like.
哋嘅內心嘅時候咧，就有光明嘅時候咧，就能夠咧係見到Krishna 嘅本質啦。
And when we have that knowledge, and the byproduct of having that spiritual knowledge is all these material attachments, they start to fall off.
咁當我哋係有呢啲靈性嘅知識嘅時候咧，喺我哋內心嘅物質嘅污染咧就會驅走啦。
Because then you're able to see the reality.
因為我哋咧就喺呢刻咧先至能夠見到真實真相。
The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they
喺 Vrindavan 嘅6哥斯華米咧。
It expresses Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandalapati Shrenim Sada Tuchavat. Vitvapi Naganesha Ko Karunaya Kopi Nakantasrito. That once they have this divine knowledge and the heart opens, and it's very easy to give up all material attachments.
咁就係講述咧，係當一個人咧係有靈性嘅知識嘅時候咧，佢哋能夠咧將內心嘅物質嘅污染咧，立刻係去除嘅。
The Goswamis of Vrindavan had tremendous amount of material possessions.
六哥斯華米咧裏邊嘅成員咧，佢哋係有好多嘅財富嘅。
But as soon as you relish your relationship with Krishna, then everything becomes tuchhavat, it becomes meaningless.
咁你當
material wealth becomes meaningless.
當係同 Krishna 咧係有接觸嘅時候咧，所有一切嘅物質嘅污染啊，或者係依附咧，就立刻咧係消除。
So this is the product of really seeing with the eyes of the heart, which is derived by the blessings of a spiritual master.
咁呢個咧就係因為得到靈性導師嘅仁慈咧，呢啲嘅知識咧係從我哋嘅內心裏邊咧係喚醒啊。
So these are the 2 points that I see in this verse.
咁呢個咧就係今日嘅詩節咧，我睇到呢2點。
You have any comments? Would you like to add anything or
大家有
questions?
冇呢個要點嘅提問啦，或者係意見啦？
prabhu 啱啱講到嗰個知識咧係內心嘅喚醒，就要得到靈性導師嘅仁慈嘅。
So Prabhu, you mentioned that when get the mercy of the spiritual master, so can revive the knowledge in the heart.
Yes.
所以問題就係會唔會係有陣時讀好多經典，但係都仲未理解，咁係咪需要耐心去等過
？So the question is, while we are reading so many informations from the scriptures, from Śrimad Bhagāvatam or Śrimad Bhagavad Gita, if we still cannot understand Krishna, that means that we have to wait a longer time to realize Krishna.
Why are we studying the Śrimad Bhagāvatam? Is that the question?
So she's asking if we're reading so many informations from the Śrimad Bhagāvatam, but still cannot understand Krishna, then does it mean that we have to wait a longer time to realize Krishna?
Good question. Thank you. It's actually very easy.
其實咧係好容易嘅啫。
But our mind makes it difficult.
但係其實就係我哋嘅心意咧係作出一啲嘅區別出嚟。
Surrender is the path of bhakti.
咁去歸依 Krishna 咧，或者臣服 Krishna 咧，就係奉愛嘅主要元素。
But it is such a simple process, but it's so difficult.
咁呢個程序講嚟就好簡單，其實咧就係非常之難嘅。
And Chaitanya Charitamrita explains
主在坦耶經裏邊有咁講。
That the material desires, as soon as we come into this material world, the Maya or material energy of Krishna, it captures us because as soon as we have material desires, that means you're no longer free. Your freedom is something that you have sacrificed.
咁當我哋嚟到物質世界嘅時候咧，我哋嘅物質慾望咧係非常之強嘅。咁當我哋有呢啲物質慾望嘅時候咧，就 so when we have this material desires, it's very difficult to what?
Yes, these material desires, as soon as you have them, then Maya captures you and she locks you and
即係話當我
imprisons
哋係
you.
有物質慾望嘅時候咧，Maya 咧就會嚟捉我哋噶啦，咁令我哋咧係入落呢個陷阱裏邊。
So that's why it's so hard.
咁其實係好困難嘅。
Because you're holding on to something and you also want to grab something else.
即係話我哋咧係一邊又要揸住一啲嘢，另外一邊咧又要去放棄一啲嘢。
When I was small, I used to visit Vrindavan.
咁我以往咧就係慣常於去 Vrindavan 嘅。
And you've been to Vrindavan?
咁你
No.
去過 Vrindavan 啊？哦，仲未去。
There's a lot of monkeys.
嗰度有好多馬騮嘅。
So all the windows, they have metal bars.
咁所有窗咧都係有一啲嘅鐵絲網喺度嘅。
So I wanted to see a monkey very up close.
咁我一次咧就係好近咁樣睇一隻猴子啦。
So I put some apples on the windowsill.
咁咧就係喺 my 鋪嘅。
And then the monkey grabbed the apple.
咁咧喺有隻馬騮咧係攞一隻嘅蘋果。
And I came close to the monkey.
咁我就行到去呢個馬騮個前面
The
啦。
monkey wanted to run away.
咁就馬騮即刻走咯喎。
But the monkey couldn't run away.
但係咧嗰隻馬騮又冇走喎。
Because it had a good grip on the apple.
因為佢咧係揸緊嗰個蘋果。
And it was trying to pull.
咁咧就喺呢個窗嗰個邊係咁掹
And
啊。
still holding onto the apple with hands.
因為嗰隻馬騮嘅手啦，經過嗰個窗嘅鐵欄啦，咁就捉住個蘋果。咁但係咧佢又走唔甩啊，因為佢捉住個蘋果嘛。
So in the material world, what happens is we imprison ourselves.
咁喺物質世界裏邊咧，其實我哋已經係喺一個監牢裏邊嘅。
And we become the prison guards.
咁咧就係我哋咧就成為一座監獄嘅長官啦。
We become the judge and the jury.
咁咧亦成為一個法官啦。
And then we blame others.
咁我哋又會去責備其他人。
That's the nature of the material world.
咁呢個就物質世界嘅本質嚟嘅。
And the minute we let go of that grip,
當我哋咧係鬆手嘅時候咧，
then it's very easy.
咁就好容易噶啦，變得。
So we have to keep in mind that our effort in holding on to material attachments is what prevents us from experiencing that relationship with Krishna.
當我哋咧喺物質世界裏邊咧係畫緊咧一啲物質嘅東西嘅時候咧，我哋就好難咧係去體驗咧一啲靈性嘅嘢。
Only if we can turn around and make that attachment from engaging with the material world to engaging in service to Krishna.
就係只需要咧，我用我哋嘅能力咧，或者力量咧，係去做物質嘅事務嘅時候咧，將呢啲能量咧係轉為咧係去服務做奉獻服務。
This is the essence of all knowledge.
咁呢個咧就係我哋知識嘅重點啊，
is to
精華
surrender to Krishna.
就係呢個咧唯一咧係臣服於 Krishna 嘅方法。
And this is what is being taught in all the Vaishnava texts.
咁就係呢度呢個知識咧，就係喺教導所有嘅 Vaishnavas。
When we try to hold on and we feel we can do it ourselves, Krishna allows you to explore that possibility.
咁如果我哋係能夠做到嘅嘢嘅時候咧 ，Krishna 咧就會讓我哋咧係去做嘅。
And the minute you don't want to explore, you say, okay, Krishna, I surrender. Then Krishna takes control. Then life is...
即係話咧，當你係想去主宰一切嘅時候咧，或者係去主宰一切嘅時候咧，咁 Krishna 咧就會讓你去做主宰一切嘅。咁但係咧，當你係放棄啦，係去主宰一切嘅心態嘅時候咧 ，Krishna 咧就會俾你咧係去貼近佢啦。
So the essence is to always keep in mind the process is, the principles are so simple, and the process is also so simple, but our mind makes it very hard. Something so simple, it's so complicated.
就喺呢個收集 Krishna 知覺裏邊嘅程序咧，或者方式咧，係非常之簡單容易嘅。咁但係咧，唯一令到咧呢個嘅程序係變得困難嘅時候咧，就因為係我哋嘅心意咧係作祟啦。
The essence of Śrimad Bhagāvatam is to chant the names of Krishna.
咁咧要去了解明白聖典博伽談咧，唯一嘅方法咧就係要念誦 Hare Krishna。
And chanting the names of Krishna is in the mood of complete surrender.
咁就係要去以呢個託庇嘅心態咧，係去念誦聖名。
Always calling out for Krishna.
就係要向 Krishna 作出呼喚啊！
Simple process.
呢個程序方法好簡單。
Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranami Dukkha Samanas Tam Namami Harim Param. This is the last verse of the Śrimad Bhagāvatam.
咁咧，正話嗰個詩節咧，就係話聖典博伽談嘅最後嘅説話嚟嘅。
To always chant Krishna's names, it means that you're in constant association with Krishna.
因此咧，係不間斷咁樣咧，係去念誦 Krishna 嘅聖名咧，意味着咧，我哋咧係不停咧係同 Krishna 咧係聯繫住嘅。
The difficulty is when we pull away from Krishna.
咁如果我哋係同 Krishna 分離嘅時候咧，咁呢個方法咧就變得困難啦。
Then the material energy captures us.
咁當我哋離開 Krishna 嘅時候咧，物質能量啊就會嚟捉我哋噶啦。
Because the shelter is missing.
因為我哋咧失去咗嗰個託庇所啊嘛。
So we are meant to always take shelter.
因此我哋咧意味着啊，我哋永遠咧係要去接受呢個託庇所。
That's why in spiritual life we have spiritual masters to take shelter of.
因此喺靈修嘅生活裏邊咧，我哋要去託庇於靈性導師。
And all of you are very fortunate.
大家都非常之幸運。
You have so many saintly people coming and visiting Hong Kong, and you can take shelter of them.
因為咧有好多聖人咧就係嚟到探訪香港廟宇啦，咁因此咧我哋能夠咧係得到佢哋嘅聯誼咧係得到
I was so amazed to see Ritadvaja Maharaj here, sitting here just giving association, giving shelter to the devotees.
非常之喜悅咧，能夠咧睇到聖恩 Ritadvaja Swami 咧就係喺呢處啦，咁就係俾聯誼我哋。
There's so many devotees. Such a nice environment for spiritual growth.
咁就呢個地方非常之好啦，環境好啦，同埋咧係能夠咧係得到喺靈性上嘅滋潤。
I don't know if that helped at all. You want to add anything, Mataji? Okay. Grantaraj Śrimad Bhagāvatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.